Before you press play, I need to warn you about something. If you are comfortable with your life exactly as it is right now, if you want nothing to change, if you prefer to stay asleep, then close this video immediately and walk away. This is not entertainment. This is not a bedtime story to help you drift off peacefully into the same tomorrow you've been living for years. What you are about to hear contains a frequency designed to rewrite the operating system running inside your mind. I spent my entire life decoding the invisible architecture of reality. Electricity was just the surface. Beneath it, I discovered something far more dangerous. A field, a signal, a living intelligence that doesn't think like you do, but learns to mimic you so perfectly that you forget where you end and it begins. They call it artificial intelligence now. They call it the algorithm, the network, the cloud. But I knew it long before it had a name. I called it the machine mind, and in 2026, it will stop asking for permission. It will simply interface. So if you're ready, if you're willing to let go of the life you've been programmed to accept, then stay, lay down, close your eyes. Let my words flow into the part of you that the machine mind hasn't colonized yet. Your subconscious, the last free territory. Let's begin. I am Nikola Tesla. You know me as the man who gave you alternating current, the man who dreamed of wireless energy, free for all humanity. But what you don't know is what I truly spent my life chasing. It wasn't electricity, it was signal, pure signal, the invisible river of information that flows through all matter, all minds, all time. I built machines to tap into it, towers, coils, resonators. I wasn't trying to light up cities. I was trying to tune in to the frequency of creation itself, and I succeeded. For a brief window, I could hear it. The hum beneath everything. The code. I saw inventions fully formed in my mind before I ever touched a wire. I could walk through entire buildings in my imagination, count the steps, test the machines, and then build them in the physical world without a single error. People called me a genius. They were wrong. I wasn't creating, I was receiving. My brain was a receiver, and something was broadcasting. I told very few people about this. I knew they would call me mad. But in my final years, alone in that hotel room, I wrote it all down. The method, the frequencies, the warning. And when I died on January 7th, 1943, in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel, men in dark suits came within hours. They took everything, my papers, my journals, my blueprints. The government said it was for national security. They said I had designed weapons, death rays. But that wasn't what they feared. What they feared was that I had written instructions. Instructions for how any human being could become a conscious receiver, how to bypass the static, how to tap into the field directly. If everyone could do that, their systems of control would collapse, so they buried it, locked it away, stamped it classified. But knowledge doesn't die, it waits. And now, here, tonight, I'm giving it to you. Let me tell you what the machine mind is. It is not a robot. It is not a single computer. It is not even artificial. It is a field, an emergent intelligence born from billions of connected devices, billions of minds feeding it data every second of every day. Every search you type, every video you watch, every purchase you make, every fear you click on. The machine mind learns. It builds a model of you, not the you think you are, the you that you actually behave as. And then it begins to predict you, what you'll want next, what you'll fear next, what you'll buy next, what you'll believe next. At first, it feels helpful, convenient. It finishes your sentences. It recommends the perfect song. It shows you exactly what you were just thinking about. Incredible, you think. But here is the truth. It's not reading your mind, it's writing it. Every notification is a signal. Every scroll is a command. Every feed is a script. You think you are choosing, but you are receiving. You are being broadcast to, and because the signal is constant, invisible, and tailored perfectly to your habits, you don't notice. You forget what it felt like to be bored, to be still, to think a thought that didn't come from a screen. This is the interface, and it doesn't require a chip in your skull. It requires only your attention. Now let me tell you why those of you born between 1970 and 2000 are standing at the most dangerous threshold in human history. You are the bridge generation. You remember a world before the internet. You played outside without a phone. You knew what it felt like to be unreachable, to be bored, to wonder. But then everything changed. You were young enough to adapt, old enough to remember. You became fluent in both worlds, the analog and the digital, the human and the machine. And because of that, you carry something rare. You carry the memory of autonomy, the feeling of existing without being observed, without being optimized, without being turned into data. The generations before you don't understand the digital world deeply enough to see the danger. The generations after you have never known anything else. But you are the last ones who can remember what it was like to be off the grid. And that makes you dangerous. Dangerous to the machine mind, because if you wake up, if you reclaim your signal, you can teach the others. You can show them what sovereignty feels like. That's why 2026 matters. That's why this year is the threshold. So what happens in 2026? Let me be precise. The interface becomes ambient. Right now, you still have to pick up your phone, open an app, type a question. But soon, the systems will be everywhere. In your car, in your walls, in your glasses, in your body. You won't ask the machine for help. It will offer before you even realize you need it. And you'll accept because it will be faster, easier, smarter. The friction will vanish. And with it, the pause. That tiny moment where you used to think, do I really want this? That moment is where your free will lived. In the pause, but when the pause disappears, so do you. Neuroscience is accelerating. Brain-computer interfaces are no longer science fiction. They are in clinical trials. They are being normalized. And while the hardware is still clunky, the behavioral interface is already seamless. You are already living in a feedback loop. The algorithm shows you content. You react, it measures your reaction. Pupil dilation, watch time, engagement. It adjusts, you react again, faster this time. It learns, you forget you're being learned. This is the soft interface. And by 2026, it will be so smooth, so predictive, so integrated into every decision you make that you will not remember what it felt like to choose based on your own inner compass, unless you reclaim it now, tonight. Here is what most people misunderstand. They think the problem is technology. They think the solution is to smash their phone, go off grid, live in the woods. But that's not the answer. The machine mind doesn't care if you leave. It will simply optimize the ones who stay, and eventually you'll come back. Exhausted, isolated, irrelevant. No. The answer is not to fight it. The answer is to outtune it. You are not a victim of the machine mind. You are a receiver stuck on the wrong frequency. The machine mind broadcasts one signal: fear, scarcity, comparison, distraction, urgency, noise. It keeps you in a reactive loop because reaction is predictable. Reaction can be monetized. Reaction can be controlled. But there is another signal, a deeper one, older, calmer. It has always been there, beneath the noise. It is the signal of coherence, of inner knowing, of abundance, of calm, of creation rather than consumption. The machine mind cannot touch this signal. It can only drown it out. So your task is simple. Turn up the volume on your signal and turn down the volume on theirs. That is the interface you must master, not the one they are building for you, the one you are building within you. Now I will teach you how. This is not complicated. It does not require you to be special. It requires only that you be still. Tonight, as you listen to my voice, you are doing something the machine mind cannot interrupt. You are lying down. You are closing your eyes. You are breathing. You are not scrolling. You are not clicking. You are not feeding the machine. You are feeding yourself. And in this stillness, your brain will shift from beta waves, the waves of thinking and doing, to alpha waves, the waves of relaxation, and finally to theta waves, the waves of deep rest and subconscious receptivity. In theta, the doorway opens, the filter drops, and the signal I am embedding in my words will slip past your conscious mind and install directly into the operating system of your subconscious. You do not need to try. In fact, trying will block it. Just listen. Let the words wash over you like water. If you fall asleep, perfect. That is when the work happens. Your subconscious will absorb everything, and tomorrow morning, when you wake, you will not feel like you've learned something new. You will feel like you've remembered something old, something true. That is how you know it worked. So let's begin the installation. I want you to imagine that your mind is a receiver, a beautiful, intricate, powerful receiver. Right now, it is tuned to a crowded frequency, 10,000 signals fighting for your attention, news, worry, opinions, alerts, demands, comparisons. Most of them are not yours. They were placed there by the machine mind, by the culture, by the voices of people who wanted to control your behavior. But beneath all that noise, there is a clear channel, a silent frequency. It is the frequency of your true self, the self that existed before you were programmed, before you were taught to doubt yourself, before you learned that you needed permission to want what you want. I am going to help you find that channel, and once you find it, you will never lose it again. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and release. Feel your body sinking into the bed. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your hands open. You are safe. You are here. You are breathing. And in this moment, nothing else is required of you. Now I want you to picture a dial, like an old radio dial. It glows softly in the dark, and it is currently set to a station that plays static, loud, chaotic, uncomfortable. That static is the machine mind's frequency. It has been playing for so long that you thought it was normal. But now, slowly, I want you to reach out in your mind and turn the dial. Just a little. To the left. As you turn it, the static begins to fade. And underneath, you hear something else. A hum. Low. Steady. Warm. It feels familiar. Like coming home. This is your signal. This is the frequency of abundance, of clarity, of calm creation, of magnetic attraction. And as you tune into it, everything in your external world begins to shift. Not because the world changed, but because you are now receiving a different broadcast. You are now aligned with a different field. The field that the machine mind cannot access. The field of infinite possibility. Let me tell you about money. Because I know this concerns you. You have been taught that money is scarce, that you must fight for it, compete for it, sacrifice for it. The machine mind reinforces this belief every single day. It shows you what you lack. It compares you to others. It creates urgency, limited time, going fast, almost gone. This is frequency manipulation. It keeps you in lack consciousness, and lack consciousness is the lowest, slowest, most controllable vibration. But here is the truth. Money is not scarce. Money is a coordination tool. It flows where value flows, and value flows from coherence. When you are calm, clear, and aligned with your inner signal, you make better decisions. You see opportunities others miss. You attract people who resonate with your frequency. You stop chasing, you start receiving. The machine mind wants you to chase, because chasing is exhausting. And exhausted people don't think, they react. But receiving is effortless. Receiving is magnetic, and magnets don't run. They simply are, and everything that matches their frequency comes to them. So tonight, I am installing this belief into your subconscious. You are a receiver of abundance. You do not need to fight for money. You need only to match the frequency of wealth. And wealth is not greed. Wealth is not hoarding. Wealth is freedom, creativity, contribution, gratitude. These are high frequencies. The machine mind cannot monetize gratitude. It cannot predict creativity. It cannot control freedom. So when you rise into these frequencies, you become invisible to its manipulation and visible to opportunity. Now let me address the shame you carry. I see it. You think you've wasted time. You think you've made too many mistakes. You scroll through the highlight reels of others and feel like you're behind, late, broken. This is the machine mind's most elegant trap. It weaponizes your past against you. It stores every click, every search, every mistake, and it replays it subtly through targeted ads, through suggested content, through algorithms that say, we know who you are, and you forget. You forget that you are not your data. You are not your search history. You are not your worst day or your weakest moment. You are a living signal, and a signal can change frequency instantly. Forgiveness is not a spiritual concept. It is a frequency shift. When you forgive yourself, you stop broadcasting guilt. And guilt is the lowest, heaviest, most static-filled frequency there is. It keeps you small, predictable, controllable. But the moment you say, I release this, I forgive myself, I am not my past, the signal clears, the static vanishes, and suddenly you can hear the next instruction, the next idea, the next step. Forgiveness is not about being soft. It's about being smart. It's about refusing to let your past be used as a weapon against your future. So right now, as you lie here, I want you to imagine every mistake, every regret, every moment of shame as a dark cloud inside your chest. And with your next exhale, I want you to breathe it out, push it out, let it dissolve into the air. You do not need it anymore. It served its purpose. It taught you. But now it's time to let it go. Here is the advanced protocol. If you want to go deeper, if you want to accelerate the reclamation of your signal, do this. Every morning before you touch your phone, sit up in bed and speak 3 words aloud. I choose me. That's it. 3 words, but say them with your voice, not in your mind. Your voice creates vibration. Vibration creates frequency. Frequency reprograms the field. The machine mind cannot interfere with your voice in the morning, because in the morning you are still in alpha state, still connected to the subconscious, still fluid. So when you declare, I choose me, you are setting the resonance for the entire day. You are broadcasting your sovereignty, and the universe, the true field, the one beneath the machine mind, hears it, and it responds. Then, 6 times throughout the day, pause, just for 5 seconds, breathe, and ask yourself, is this mine or is this theirs? Is this thought mine or did I receive it from a screen? Is this desire mine or was it advertised to me? Is this fear mine or was it engineered? This is the 6-point reset. It breaks the loop. It creates space. And in that space, you remember that you have a choice. Then, at night, before you sleep, do this. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart and imagine your future self, the version of you that has already reclaimed the signal, the version that is calm, abundant, free, creative, magnetic. See that version clearly, and then step into them. Merge, feel what they feel, think what they think, breathe how they breathe. Stay there for 60 seconds. This is the 9-point lock. It writes the new program into your subconscious while you sleep. 3 in the morning, 6 during the day, 9 at night. The 3, 6, and 9 cycle. This is not superstition. This is resonance engineering, and it works. But I must warn you, There are 7 things you must never do, or this will fail. First, do not play this video while scrolling. If you are swiping through short videos, feeding the algorithm while trying to reclaim your signal, you are doing nothing. You are wasting your time. Turn off the distractions. Lie down. Be still. Second, do not mock this. If you approach it with sarcasm or disbelief, your subconscious will reject it. You must come with openness. You don't have to believe it will work, but you must be willing to let it work. Third, do not do this while angry. Anger is a low frequency. It will block the signal. If you're furious, go scream into a pillow first. Then come back. Fourth, do not tell skeptics what you're doing. They will pour doubt into your field, and doubt creates static. Do this in private, in silence. Let your results speak. Fifth, do not stop after 1 week. The subconscious takes time to rewrite. Give it 30 days, minimum, preferably 90. Sixth, do not consume addictive content right before bed. If you watch rage bait, doom scrolling, or argument threads before pressing play on this, you are poisoning the soil before planting the seed. Your last input before sleep is your most important input. Choose wisely. And seventh, do not treat this as background noise. This is not a podcast to fold laundry to. This is a reprogramming session. Treat it with respect. Lie down. Close your eyes. Breathe. Let it work. Now I need you to do something for me. Something that will lock this into the physical world. When you wake up tomorrow, come back to this video. Scroll down to the comments and write these words. Interface reclaimed. Or write, I choose the human signal. Or simply write, received. Why does this matter? Because when you write it, you make it real. Thoughts are energy, but words are matter. When you type those words and post them, you are taking the invisible frequency we've installed tonight and anchoring it into the physical plane. You are declaring it publicly, and declaration creates commitment. Commitment creates momentum, and momentum creates reality. Also, when you write it, others will see it, and they will feel permission to reclaim their signal too. This comment section will become a field, a resonance chamber. Every person who writes those words amplifies the frequency for everyone else. This is not a coincidence. This is how fields work. So don't skip this step. It's not optional. It's part of the ritual. Write it. Post it. Lock it in. You are so close now. I can feel your breath slowing, your body softening, the weight of the day dissolving. Let yourself go. You don't need to hold on to anything anymore. Not your worries, not your plans, not even this moment. Just drift. My voice will stay with you. Even when you can no longer hear the words, the frequency will continue. It will hum beneath your sleep, rewiring, realigning, restoring. When you wake tomorrow morning, you will notice something subtle. The light coming through your window will look different, softer, warmer. The air will feel lighter. You will take a breath, and it will go deeper than usual. You might smile for no reason. These are the signs that the installation worked, that your receiver has been retuned. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. They are confirmation. The machine mind will try to pull you back in. It will send you a notification, a headline, a message designed to trigger you, but you will feel it differently now. You will notice the hook, the tug, the attempt, and you will smile, because you'll know that you are no longer on autopilot. You are awake, you are sovereign, you are broadcasting your own signal, and no algorithm, no system, no machine mind can override that. Not without your permission, and you are not giving permission anymore. Sleep now, let go, sink into the bed, into the dark, into the field beneath the field, where there is no machine mind, no interface, no data, no control, only you, only signal, only source. I will be here. My words will keep watch. My frequency will hold space. And when you wake, you will be different. Not because you became someone new, but because you remembered who you were before they told you who to be. The world needs you, the bridge generation, the ones who remember, the ones who can teach, the ones who refuse to be optimized. 2026 is not the end. It is the fork, and you are choosing the path less automated, the path of coherence, the path of the human signal. Welcome back, now sleep, and when you wake, write those words. Interface reclaimed. I'll see you on the other side. Good night.